with like, oh, Rod Stewart's 75, the Rolling Stones or whatever they are. You know, these guys aren't even 60 yet. You know, they're in their late 50s. Like Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison. I keep thinking those guys are north of 60, but they're not. They're still, you know, relatively young men. They're still out there running around and doing what they want to do. And good for them. Why would you ever quit? You know, there's that eternal argument. We've had it on this show over many years of, you know, when do you quit? When is too old too old? There was a rumor that I think we were still on break. There was a viral tweet going around that said that Mick Jagger announces his retirement.
He's old. He can quit.
And then it was something like, no, he didn't do that. Because why would you? I mean...
If you can still do it and it's not hurting you physically or financially or anything, I mean, why not? There's a demand for you. People are showing up.
Yeah.
Why quit?
Well, that's the question, is some people go, it's tough. You've got enough money. You don't need to do it. What are you still doing it for?
But it's a lot
what else are you going to do? Yeah.
What else are you going to do?
Yeah. You're just going to yell at John Mulaney. Funny! Not funny!
Not funny! I finally watched John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch.
I haven't watched that yet because I'm afraid it's going to be terrible.
It's not terrible, but my son was describing it to me, and my son, I told my son this, I said, you've done this to me now on a couple of occasions where you have a way of making something sound way funnier than it is. And he goes, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it. So I watched it, and it's funny. There aren't as many curveballs as I was told there were going to be, but it's not a bad way to spend a little bit of time. If you're worried about it being terrible, I'd say it's not terrible.
It's not terrible. Okay.
No.
That's what I was afraid that it was going to be terrible.
No, I think it's funny.
But if it's funny, then I'll watch it.
Yeah. It's not the greatest thing you've ever seen in your life, but, you know.
That's worth the hour.
Yeah.
Because it's only like an hour, right?
Something like that? Yeah, I believe so.
New episodes of The Circle dropped today.
Yeah.
Pumped about that.
Oh, that's
Ring.
that reality show you like?
Yeah, The Ring. Yeah.
Can I get an opinion from you guys because you're logical and I'm not? Okay. So, last night I had a dream about a guy I went on a couple dates with. We never hooked up, anything like that. But the dates were fun. We got along. We ended up calling it off because we wanted different things. Now, all day I've been like, should I text this guy? Because I don't want to like try to come off like I'm rekindling something. But I like had a dream about him. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, would you want someone to text you and be like, hey, I had a dream about you. How you been? Even though I don't want to date him.
Yeah, no. Why would you text someone
you
you were in a dream of mine?
Now, that was exactly what I thought. How weird is this? He texted me like 10 minutes ago and was like, hey, I've been thinking about you lately. Did you want to go out sometime and grab dinner or go bowling or do this? And I'm like, how weird is that?
Did you tell him about the dream?
No, I haven't responded because I'm like freaked out about it. That I've been thinking all day, like, I should text this guy. Like, I had a dream about him last night. No, that's weird because I don't know that I want to see him again and yada, yada, yada. And then now he just texts me.
This is the one from earlier this year that you went out with a few times?
We went out on 4 dates, yeah. And
So
it was,
what's
he
the-
wanted something serious and I wasn't ready for something serious. So
What's
we
the-
were kind of headed in different directions.
What's the rational and logic thing that you need from Billy?
Because I'm like, that's the sign from the universe, right?
No,
that, like,
it's pure coincidence.
How is that? I haven't talked to
Because
this
that's what
guy.
a coincidence is.
Coincidence by
talked to
definition
this
is, oh my
guy.
God, how could this have happened?
I'm
It's
like,
a
I have not
coincidence.
talked to him in months. And then I have a dream about him last night, debate texting him all day, and then he texts me and was like, hey, I've been thinking about you. That's like crazy, right?
No.
It's certainly very strange timing,
Right.
but it's still a coincidence.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this isn't some moons are aligned. And
Because what is the universe doesn't care.
I think they do.
No,
The
it
universe-
doesn't. It doesn't care.
The universe
It's such
is
a dumb thing.
uncontested.
You can totally just write that off as like, huh.
Yes.
Yes.
That's insane to me.
Write
Okay.
it off right now.
I know, that's
Because,
crazy.
Listen, I have a girl that hit me up today, and I haven't been thinking about her. But maybe to her, she's like, I should text Bill. And then she did, and I was like, hey, I have a girlfriend now. Leave me alone.
Okay, but that's
So-
different. Like, I literally just had a dream about this guy last night. Like, to me, that's like all signs point to yes.
Then let me walk down
Okay.
this path with you
I'm ready,
for a
Alan.
second, all right?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
This is why I was like, because
Let's go where you're going.
I'm ready.
What does it mean?
I don't know what does it
Right.
mean.
Well, you don't know what it means. We know it's a coincidence.
Why is it bad that it's a coincidence?
It's not. No, it's not bad. It's just really weird. That's my. It's
Well,
just
because you're
very
overthinking
strange
it.
It
timing.
is certainly weird. It is certainly weird. You
It
know
is
when,
weird.
You
It's
know
a
when people
coincidence.
say everything happens for a reason?
Boom.
It doesn't. Life
Oh,
is
see?
unerringly random.
I'm in that
and
school
indifferent.
Of thought. We've
the
talked
universe,
about this.
the universe could not be more indifferent to us and our needs, right? It is openly hostile to our needs, in fact. Get out of the atmosphere. Tell me how much the universe got your best interest at heart. Now, What I'm saying is, it's very strange.
Yeah.
Right. But it doesn't portend anything. Because if you go out with them and nothing goes right, then what?
Well, that was the thing, is that we got along really well. And it was one of those things where I'm like, I could see myself dating this guy. I'm just not ready for a serious relationship. And I told him that. We had an open conversation on the phone where I was like,
But you're
hey,
still not ready for a serious relationship.
But well, yeah, I mean, I get that. But like my focus is shifting a little bit, being here more, not being on the road as much and things like that.
Let's go to the
maybe.
true source. Let's go to the real arbiter.
Uh-oh, here we go.
What does your pattern app tell you?
I deleted it. Well, I didn't delete it. I got a new phone. I didn't re-download it.
Now, isn't that weird, Bill, that I asked her about the pattern app and it's not even on her phone?
Right.
No,
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
how is she going to know what the universe wants for her?
I feel like, Bill, you're being too aloof about it.
No, I
to
think
have
it's...
a dream about someone you haven't seen in 7 months and then them text you.
And then yeah.
There's no way he could have known. That's like, is serendipitous the right word?
Yes, serendipitous could work.
But
sure.
again, it's random. It happened.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
You wouldn't think twice about that.
It would not make me think that the universe wants me to be with this person, because I don't think that way, because that's not how I think.
Now, there's nothing.
I'm trying not to belittle the way you think.
He's trying not to say it
Yeah.
because you're a stupid idiot.
Yeah, and you're not stupid. It's a stupid way to think about things, because the universe does not care about us.
But all I'm saying is, I think.
There's no such thing as fate.
What I'm saying is,
I disagree.
You can think whatever you like, right? But I feel like that sets you up for more of a letdown if you go into it going, oh my God, this is something.
That's a very good point.
Whereas rationally you go, well, let's see if this is, hey, that's weird.
Right.
It's nice.
We've
I like it.
reconnected.
You can like it.
It's a
Yeah.
great anecdote.
It felt, because I almost texted him probably twice today. When I woke up, I was like, I should text him and see how he's doing. And then I'm like, no, because he wanted something and I kind of backed off, so I don't want it to be misconstrued. And then like later in the day, I'm like, well, what could it hurt? And then sure enough.
It's also a time of year where people are getting back into routines after being alone during the holidays and stuff like that, or being with family.
But we haven't talked since like July.
It's the
but
second
I'm just
half
saying,
of cuffing
but I'm
season.
saying, like, it's, yeah, exactly.
Cuffing season 2.
This time it's
It's
personal.
kind of how...
It's
Yeah, go on a
really
couple days
personal.
and then break up with him January 20th, just so you ain't got to buy him a gift for Valentine's Day.
Like a lot of...
January 20th is 12 days from now.
Exactly. Go on a couple dates, get some food for free, like the one girl, and
God, that's
and then break
horrible.
up.
There
with
are
him.
rhythms to life.
Yeah.
So that rhythm of him thinking about, like, oh, maybe I should help Mary. Or maybe he's listening to the show yesterday, heard you crying. He's like, hey.
Vulnerable,
Yeah.
get her.
Okay, Mary, I'll throw a coincidence at you.
Okay.
There was a guy that I went on a date with, a Tinder date, completely random. We met, we had dinner. This was the guy where I got recognized by the waiter and the table next to me for being Poundcake. And then he travels a lot.
I wish that was just the end of the story.
No.
Coincidence,
Just go,
right?
I went on a date and I got recognized.
No.
Coincidence?
He travels a lot for work, so we haven't been able to hang out as much as we would like to. And I've been wrapped up with like the vacation and holidays and stuff like that as well. Turns out, he texted me the other day. He was like, "Hey, are you playing gay dodgeball this year?" I said, "Yes." Why? He said,
Why don't you just call it dodgeball?
This is gay.
"It's gay dodgeball."
But everyone in it's gay.
Not everyone.
No, the
Well, then why did
dodgeball
they-
itself is gay.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Come on,
attracted to
Alan.
other
Yeah,
dodge
yes.
that look like. I understood. Okay.
Yeah, and he was like, "Are you playing gay dodgeball?" I said, "Yes." Why? And he said, "I am your team captain."
Ooh.
So is that a coincidence? Is that fate? Did fate bring us
Does he
together?
get to
It
pick?
is coincidence.
Do you pick teams or are they randomly assigned?
Randomly assigned, as far as I know. And he said, "You're on my team. You just randomly drafted to my team." So is that fate bringing us together? Saying
I
that,
don't know. I don't know.
Listen.
Because, well, now, here's my thing. I can look at that a little bit more logically because the gay dodgeball community is probably pretty small. So your chances of being paired up with somebody that you've hooked up with before or gone out with before is probably good,
Honey,
right?
especially
And
if you've been
also
with as
playing-
many as I have.
That also applies to you
Yeah.
in this situation.
No,
The
it
number,
doesn't.
I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that the number of guys you've hooked up with is relatively small.
Yeah, two.
And so you're going to be traveling
Just two guys.
traveling in similar circles.
But no, this is different because having the dream and then having him text me.
I
That's,
think-
that's what's got me hooked up.
I think
what does it
you're letting
mean?
yesterday get under your skin and you're going, here's my shot.
No, because I don't want a serious
All right.
relationship. That
All
part of
right.
me has not changed.
All right.
Okay, but what is it? Why does it matter? Why does it, the universe or the fate or whatever it is, why does that matter?
Because it's weird. It's
Why
strange.
Why can't it just be weird?
Because it's like, why would this happen?
Because
Why wouldn't it
Because you guys
happen?
were attracted to each other.
Yeah.
And then we also live in a day and age of social media where he might have run across something, or he might have been going through his phone and saw a picture of you guys together or something. There are these triggers that, like I said, there are rhythms to life that will put people back in touch with each other.
You might have been a suggested friend, someone you might know on social media, biblically.
Right, I get it. I just felt like the timing was super weird, and as I tend to look into things like that.
And again, people are giving me a hard time saying I'm a dick, I'm a curmudge.
I think you're being more logical than Bill
I
is.
think that well, we're saying the same thing, just different ways.
Yeah.
He's being a bit more strident about it. I think that you can believe. I don't have a problem with anybody believing whatever they believe. All I'm saying is I feel that people who believe that set themselves up a bit more for feeling let down when fate doesn't go.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, fate also, to me, just getting, like, this isn't even you.
No,
Like,
go ahead.
We'll talk about the Kevin Bacon kid. Was that fate? Where we talked about it on Monday. He
Had his
meets this
balls
guy
chomped
on Grindr, and then this guy kills him and eats his balls. Is that the universe? So, you took a wrong turn.
No. Those are completely different things. Because
How?
this guy went on a date with a stranger. That's a risk you take meeting someone off the internet.
Right,
That's
but there's a lot
not-
of people that go on dates with strangers and they're like, they ended up being the one.
I understand that, but I'm saying that's a risk of dating. This
But
this
that
is
was
too
literally
very
his fate was he got murdered.
Yeah.
So when you get murdered, when bad things happen, it's not the universe or it is the universe.
It depends on what you believe.
That's what I'm trying to understand.
You're saying that your belief affects the universe.
No, it depends on how you look at the situation. Like if I get what you're saying, and I don't want to say it out loud because I hate it when you're right. But I don't like to say
it out loud then.
I don't like to say that person was meant to be murdered. I don't like that. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're meant to be with someone, then people are meant to be murdered and molested and get cancer.
You're saying
and all that stuff.
saying you only like good fate.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey,
That's a little
it is
selective for me.
Yes.
it is someone's fate right now to win $1,000 or purely coincidence.
And
Good
maybe
luck.
also get molested.
There you go.
Hey, it's Rover. Go fund yourself. We have your shot at $1,000 now. Text the nationwide keyword tattoo to the number 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info, standard data, and message rate supply in this nationwide contest. That's tattoo to 200-200. Good luck and go fund yourself. From 100.7 WMMS.
Everything happens for a reason is the wrong way to say it.
Yeah.
There's reasons everything happens.
Yeah.
That's how I like to look at it.
You think so?
There's reasons. Yeah, there's results. There's cause and effect. That's what I'm
Well,
talking
yeah,
about.
but reasons
Right.
are I
Yes.
mean, things happen and then something else happens. But again, there's nothing wrong with. I don't think that way. I try to maintain my childlike sense of wonder in other ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what?
Magic. Go to the magic show.
I try to be. I try to be.
Planned lies of magic.
I try to be an optimist, but I don't believe in fate or angels or.
Right.
You know, I think that the universe is unfailingly random and hostile, and whatever.
And it's just a strange, super weird coincidence that I had a dream, and
It's
then
luck.
he texted me after 7 months of not speaking.
That's
Yeah.
precisely
That's
what I would
crazy.
say. I would exactly say that.
And don't read
Now,
into
if
it
you-
any more than that.
I'm not
Right.
telling you what to do. You asked Bill and I
did.
specifically for our, so we're telling you. I'm not telling you what to do. If it makes you feel better to read into it, I'm unclear as to what you're reading into it.
I don't know. So he and I went on 4 dates, and things went really, really well. Like, we got along very well. We liked each other a lot. There was strong attraction, everything like that. We never hooked up or anything like that. But I called it off because he wanted something more serious than I felt I was ready for.
Well, then maybe that's going to still be the same case.
I understand. So in my head, I'm like, okay, well, I'm based in Cleveland more now. Maybe this is something I should explore because I'm not going to
Well,
be
then go
on the
explore
road
it.
as much.
Yeah, then
Man,
go
I'm not going to
explore
be
it.
doing this, you know?
Go explore it.
I'm gonna explore it. But don't make it seem like it
I'm
was
saying,
this
but
thing.
don't make it
Why
seem
do
like
you-
it's fate that
Wha-
he's.
That's just a weird
Yeah.
thing.
It is a weird thing, and
Okay.
I agree that it is a weird thing. But it doesn't mean it's one thing or the other. It's just, oh, he was thinking about me. I was thinking about him. Maybe we should give it a chance again. I mean, my girlfriend and I, we stopped talking to each other for a while, and then she knows my schedule, so she started showing up at shows.
Creepy when dudes do it, endearing when women do it.
Right. And it's one of those
That's
things
not
where,
a
like,
way to go on a date
at-
with me, guys. Do not show up at my
Still
At
creepy.
first-
It's still
yeah.
creepy. Guys don't care.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it.
And like at first I was a little, and we talked
We've
about this.
talked
I was
about
like, I don't know, and I've talked about it with her. I'm like, I don't know if I like her showing up to these things.
Yeah.
But she kept doing it, and then kind of slowly but surely we got back into what we were doing, and now we're in a good spot.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's fate, but I think it's nice.
No, it's not fate. That was her showing up to things. That's different. She was doing things on purpose.
Right, but I'm just saying, but there was times when
I guess fate's the
we
wrong
were texting or thinking about each other, blah blah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Certain songs would come on, they remind us of each other. Those little triggers that you have. That even if it's not one of the songs that you talk about, there's moments or shows or just certain things that will remind you of somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
Alan, I had a dream a few months ago that I was making out with my ex from high school. That would have been 12 years ago. And the very next day, he came out on Instagram.
Oh, see?
There you go,
It's
right?
connected.
Coincidence?
Do you have any connection to this guy on social media?
He doesn't even have Facebook.
He doesn't have Facebook. He doesn't have an Instagram.
He has an Instagram, but he's one of those people who uses
Never
it.
posts it.
No, he's
Okay.
never on it.
All right.
So it's not like
that you saw that and subconsciously.
I don't think
you were
so.
Thinking about that. Okay.
No, because like I said, I haven't. We haven't talked.
Now, have you thought about him before the dream?
Not really. Not specifically. Nothing came up that was like, oh,
Yeah.
Did
So
you
you
guys
You know what?
bone?
I went to a party day of Chris McQuanzica. I went to a party of a mutual friend of ours. Mm-hmm. But I just had this dream last night, and that was last week.
Okay. Well.
But I was like, oh, I wonder if he'd be there, kind of a thing. But he wasn't. So we didn't see each other or anything.
Listen, depending on what you already believe, you can pile on enough tenuous connections
I
to
think
make some kind of picture.
He's trying to say, was he in my recent memory that I would have had a dream about him?
I understand.
But I don't think so.
And again, we can't prove that everything is random and coincidence.
Right.
That's just what we think.
Right.
Because there's more evidence
I
to
more-
support
And it does
that
I
nothing-
more or
than
less
there-
needed you two to stop the crazy train, to
Right.
take
But-
me and I'd be like, you're not just
If you
slow
want to see him,
down.
go
Right.
see him.
Yeah.
If you don't, don't.
Yeah.
So if you think, hey, maybe I'm in a place now where I could pursue this a little more. He reached out to me, so he's still interested. Let's go on another date.
Yeah.
And then just leave it at that and go from there.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to.
I'm not
be
planning
like,
our wedding.
Yeah.
I never
I'll be
said
like, well,
that.
the stars want us to be together. So.
No, I just thought that was.
Who are you to defy the universe, Mary?
That's just that I've never had something that coincidental, I guess.
Really?
Happen before. Not like that.
Oh, I've had stuff like that happen multiple
After
times.
months of not, or years
Yes,
or whatever, not hearing
sure.
from somebody, and then you're like, I should text them, and then they text you or call you.
No, it's
or,
very interesting and cool and whatever,
Yeah,
but I've
it's
never
weird.
attached any celestial significance to it.
I'll just be thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, hi, I'm dreading this drive to work. And I'm like, oh, maybe some Lady Gaga will make me feel better. And then on the radio, Love Game comes on. I'm like,
Yeah, because she's never on the
Yeah,
radio.
that's the universe right there.
Gee, what are the chances
No,
that
you know
Lady
what?
Gaga's
He's
on the
saying
radio?
You know what? I take it all back. Poundcake has proven that the universe cares.
yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh,
The universe is a
Disco
little
stick.
little monster.
Disco stick.
let's have some fun. This beat is sick.
Lady Gaga.
All right, I got a break.
Well,
You want to
thanks.
get a text in on this, and a lot of people do. If you want to
Okay.
call and talk to Mary,
Okay.
216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007, 35192 to text.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
And